And boom, we're live for the first time today. Today, Jamie, we're gonna have a wide variety of conspiracy theorists coming onto the show, and I'm kind of excited because I feel like the government is low-key like using these theories to just control everyone, and like it almost like keeps them in power. But I feel like also like these theories give like random people like a voice, gives them something to be passionate about. So it's gonna be an interesting episode. But Jamie, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm excited too. I'll be watching from the sidelines, but even though
I
they
might need
might
you to pull
be
some things up for me,
outlandish
Jamie.
and always there, got it. They might be like outlandish and radical, but they might be very influential for the common man of America. And they might be influential for the government to manipulate the common man, but we'll we have to wait and
Jamie, that
see.
might be the
I'm very
first
excited.
smart thing you've ever said, but all right, I think we
Amen.
should. I think we should get into the episode.
Hey, Joe, you know me. I love me a good sauna. So do you.
Yeah,
Just got
yeah,
out of the
yeah.
sauna.
Of
My
course,
brain is free of the toxins, so
of course.
I'm ready.
One and boom, we're live for the first guest of the day. This Jimmy Smith. He's an Illuminati enthusiast, which is arguably. I mean, would you say it's the most well-known conspiracy in the world?
I mean, I would, Joe. You can call me Jay Schmitty.
Okay,
I would say, well, the whole
Jay
thing about
Schmitty.
it is it's a prevailing group
Okay,
or secret society from Germany,
it's,
and it's like it came from like the Enlightenment era. You know what I mean? Like the sauna,
yeah.
like the sauna,
Okay. I mean, I,
and
I
that
get I get those in.
you
I,
know
I'd like
naked
to say
stuff.
I am fully enlightened. So
But like, what do we? I don't know. Have you seen the dollar bill?
I have. I mean, I have a few dollars, but
Yeah,
what's about it? What's about it?
it's got the triangle.
The triangle.
The triangle.
What's the triangle?
The triangle is like where they would meet and like play basketball, like at the top of the Disneyland park thing, where they play the basketball
Wait,
with the
basketball.
cobbler.
You know, I'm gonna be honest, Jimmy. You're speaking nonsense, and I think you know that, but I just want to point it out there.
Like it's the government.
So it's the government's fault.
The government's
Okay. I'm just gonna move on to a different question. Because I think it's all fake, but why is it the government's fault? What is the government hiding from us?
everything. I mean, it
Do
started
you
with Ben Plank and
okay?
George Wash, and they
Yeah,
signed that
G-Wash.
declaration. And this
Declaration.
lady over here just
Yeah.
thinks that it's all fraud. It's all fraud, Joe.
But what do you mean, Jason? Because we're existing right
Well,
now. We're in the.
They made America, so how would they not make another America right under our nose?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I know. Really, like it's so like, dude. My God.
Okay, but what's the end goal here though? Because obviously it's everything's a
don't know.
fraud. But
That's
what
like,
what do we do next? So we don't know anything. How can we prepare?
Guns, like Duncan said, guns.
Guns.
Fourth Amendment.
Good thing I have plenty of those, so I think I'm going to be okay. Well, Jay Schmitty, you truly have enlightened me today. I'm honestly, I'm getting a case of paranoia for a second right here, but I mean, I think that's all we have to cover. Thank you.
Nothing to disbelieve, only to believe.
Boom, we're live. So our next guest on the show today is Daniel Ellsberg, live from jail, actually. Who's you all know him from leaking the famous papers to the New York Times back in the 70s about the Vietnam War. So first question today. Did you always suspect that the government was hiding things about their actions in Vietnam?
Well, I ain't dumb. I've always known the government is hiding things from us, especially the Vietnam War. We had no reason to be there, and yeah, that's why I leaked the papers.
Okay, I mean, yeah, it's valid. It's valid. So, what are your thoughts on the protests that have been going on in all these college campuses? Against the Vietnam War. It's interesting to see. How will the papers that you released? How did they impact those?
Well, as you can see, I was put in prison for releasing the papers, and it caused a spark. I caused the movement, and we got protests all over the nation against the Vietnam War, and we need to get out of there as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'm not one to express my views on the podcast. I'm a neutral host, but it's interesting to hear. Why do you think the government was withholding all this information? Were they ashamed? Were they embarrassed about what they were doing? What's the true reason?
Well, the government is full of liars. I've said this again. And they're just scared. They're scared of us patriots rising up and overthrowing the government. And
So
I'm starting this
you're
political
saying
movement.
people in this government are scared of us.
Yeah, they're scared of our movement, the movement
Mm.
that I caused.
Wow, it's a little arrogant, but it's all right. How did it make you feel when you read those leaks in the New York Times?
Well, when I read those leaks, I was proud of myself.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, I exposed the government. I started the movement, and I'm making the government a better place now.
Well, all I can say is free my brother. He ain't doing nothing wrong. That's all I can say. See you. Thank you for taking the time. And boom, we're live again. So our next guest on the episode today is John Johnson. He's a corporation owner. He's born in this fear of communism, and we have some interesting questions for him today. So why are new the Eastern European immigrants? A lot of them coming from communist countries. Why are they dangerous for America?
Well, so you see, most of the Eastern Europeans that are coming in, they're taking jobs from honest, hard-working Americans.
Yeah.
And they're bringing in these dangerous new economic ideas, like this communism and socialism and stuff. And that goes against our foundation of democracy. It's going to undermine the principles of this nation.
It really is. Something that's hurting the hardworking, honest Americans. It's never good. So labor unions are a big topic of concern today. They might be against capitalism, but are they really dangerous to everyday Americans?
Well, so you see here, Mr. Rogan, like these new labor unions being founded and inspired by these new and dangerous economic ideas. Like one of the Knights of Labor, they're huge labor union. It's very popular among some of the working class. But like during the riots the other day, there was like bombs that went off. There were several civilians and police that were killed.
Yeah.
So I believe they are truly a terrorist organization.
They are, and they truly are. So that sounds dangerous. It really does. But how else are communists influencing America? Because I'm just doing my podcast. I don't really see it.
Well, so you see these communist spies, you might call them. They're infiltrating all parts of American society. Like we have some communist spies that we find them in the government. They're higher up positions of power, where they can influence and change things. Just the other day, those atom bombs were dropped during World War II.
Wait, hold up. Did I hear that there are communist spies? Is that something you just said?
Well, yes, there are spies working for the betterment of communism and the downfall of our democratic society that are hiding everywhere around us, than government, than who work for us.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm extremely paranoid right now.
Well, you should be, Mr. Alden. I mean, it's truly dangerous to modern.
I think I'm gonna have to cut it there. Thanks for listening. Boom, we're live. So our next guest on the show today is someone who strongly believes that the moon landings were actually fake. I don't really know how he believes that, but he does, and I have some questions for him. So, what made you suspect that the moon landings that happened were faked in the first place?
Well, man, the Soviets, they were just leagues above the US in terms of everything space related. Like they got their satellites out there, they got their man in space. They just won every other major victory in the space race.
Okay, so how does that exactly prove that the moon landings were faked?
Well, I mean, are you telling me to believe that America just somehow, while lagging behind, like in the entirety of the race, just sort of soared ahead and sent their man on the moon without achieving any of those other accomplishments first? That
You
just
know
seems
what?
kind of unbelievable.
It makes sense because you know it's almost like they didn't want to get left behind, so they had to make the whole world think that they were on level, on par with the Soviets. So you know, I actually understand that. But why do you think that the government would be trying to fake the landings?
Well, they've been just going through this period where the public no longer trusts them. Like after they started going into the Cold War with the Soviets, they made many decisions that made people lose trust in them. Like in the Vietnam War, they kept going even though the public went against it. And the Pentagon Papers and other incidents just diminished the trust greatly. So they
Yeah.
probably had to fake something in order to help them look better to both the public and the American people.
You know, I think we can both agree that we don't like the government, and honestly, I think that could be the main takeaway of today's interview. But think I think you have some credible points here. You know, I was a bit surprised, just taken aback, but thank you for your input today.
Of course, glad to be here.
Boom, we're live. What's up, guys? We have Duncan John here. He is a QAnon enthusiast. He's a conspiracy
Yes, sir.
theorist, whatever you want to call him. He's an average
Yes, sir.
American who's he's in here just speaking his truth, and we have some questions for him today.
Nothing but the truth, baby.
So what exactly makes you believe that the deep state, as you call it, is running the government? And honestly, I don't even know what that is. So if you want to explain to our viewers, what exactly is the deep state?
Yeah, so brother, the QAnon that I believe, brother, is that these deep state pedophiles that are running this country from the ground up are eating babies. Okay, they're eating babies underneath the Capitol building, and it is not okay. We need to get rid of all these pedophiles. They are running this country to the ground. They are the deep state.
Hey, Jamie, you getting this? Okay. Wow. I mean, there's a lot to unpack there, but you know, we're gonna move on. How did the insurrection that it took place on January 6th affect your view of QAnon as a whole and the government?
Well, on January 6th, you best believe I was not in my house. I'm not going to say where I was. All right. But, okay, the January 6th, it was not an insurrection.
Okay.
It was a movement. It was a movement. It was a movement that
I'm gonna
all
stop you there.
highlighted the Patriots.
Oh, okay.
It highlighted Patriots.
Duncan, we don't want it to get out of hand here. We're gonna keep our emotions cool.
I was not making it out of hand, brother.
Lastly, you know, you as an average farmer from Kentucky, how did it affect your
Yes,
life?
sir.
You know, how did it affect how you viewed the government?
Well, QAnon gave me that distrust in the government. Okay, it really shaped my life. You know, okay, it really molded the way I look at the government, because before this, brother, I was looking at the government like it was a good thing, but the government now being run by these adrenochrome eating pedophile cabal, brother.
Yeah.
It's not good, brother.
All right.
Not
Hey,
good,
Duncan.
brother.
Duncan, it's good to have you on your. It's time for you to leave.
Hey, thank you,
Yeah,
Joe Rogan.
It's
It
done.
was very nice listening to you.
Yeah.
And talking to you.
Yeah, we're done. And boom, we're live for the last time. I'm joined with all the guests on today's episode except one. I'm pretty sure the government took him because he knew too much.
They took the businessman.
Yeah, I think he
They
took the
took him.
businessman, but
They
I
took
hope
him.
he's all right. I
Government.
figured all of us could just leave a final thoughts on today's episode. Leave the audience with something special. I mean, Duncan, you want to go first?
Hey, it's a pleasure, Joe Rogan, brother. It's been a pleasure.
that
But
eagle in
yeah,
your
I really
background?
think, yep, TruthTellerEagle.net. That's my
I like
website.
eagles.
That's my website. But
Hey,
I
Jamie,
check
make
it
sure
out.
you got the eagle.
all my
You
friends,
trust the internet? I don't trust
we've
the
been
internet.
united. We've been united against the deep state, the government. We've all been united, and I think that's been great.
You guys play Clash Royale.
I don't know what that is, brother.
You don't trust iPhones?
Nope, I don't.
Hey, Hey,
Android.
Smitty, let's let other people talk.
All
too much,
right.
man. Hey, Buzz Lightyear, you're next. Any final messages?
Right. You know, a lot of people out there are calling us crazy for believing in all these conspiracies. But I think the
Conspiracy.
real crazies are the people who
Preach.
still believe in the US government after all that
Amen,
they've
brother.
done.
I don't believe in
Amen.
the government at all,
Amen.
except for the Illuminati. That's definitely real.
You know, I mean, I think there's no better conspiracist than Daniel Ellsberg right here. You any final thoughts?
Well, thank you,
Free
Mr.
my homie
Rogan.
Daniel.
Hey,
Bam.
yeah, hey,
Thank-
get
thank
him
you
out of
for-
jail.
Thank you for giving
He
me
did
this
nothing wrong.
platform to preach my movement.
Jay
And
Smoody.
free
It's a
me.
movement,
I ain't do
brother. It's a
nothing wrong.
movement.
Jay Smoody.
I mean, I guess it leaves us
Yeah.
with one person left. I mean, Mr. Illuminati himself.
Yeah, I said what I have to say pretty much. Just the Illuminati, it's real.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Well, sorry, folks. We're going to have to cut this broadcast a little short. These fine gentlemen here are spreading ridiculous rumors. It's going to undermine the government and our corporations, which threatens our business. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to cut this broadcast short. We can't have the public being misinformed of these type of things, you know?